Zala, ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Good evening, everybody, and a warm welcome to another episode of TLC Coach Talks, a unique talk show where we go through the journey of our fantastic coaches and trainers from our awesome community, teachers and leaders. Today, we have a very special guest, someone who's very dear to me, and he's part of my TLC Galaxy too. He's been an action taker, an achiever, and simply an inspiration to all of us in our community. I'm very happy to welcome Suresh Shetye. Welcome, Suresh. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Priti. Good evening, all, and good evening, Priti. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to join. Yeah, thank you very much.
All right. To just give you a brief background about Suresh, he has spent close to 3 decades in the HR and training industry, in the corporate industry, and then he started his own coaching career. He's got a total of around 25,000 plus hours in training and 3,500 hours of coaching. And he is an NLP coach and an OD consultant and ZAD assessor. He's also working very closely with the ICF community. He's a director over there. And now he's also going to launch a very soon something called as a V cell, which is the Women Leaders and Women Entrepreneurs cell, where he's going to work on this project for helping women entrepreneurs to take their business to the next level. This is a very brief introduction. Personally, having known Suresh for the last 1.5 years, it just feels like so much of learning, so much of sharing from him. And he's working on a mission to help 1 million business owners to grow their wealth, improve cash flow, and create a life of abundance. Before I go ahead, Suresh, that was a fantastic introduction about you. I think it doesn't even do justice to the kind of experience and wisdom that you have. But I would like to start with a very simple question. Why did you choose to be a coach?
Yeah, thank you, Priti. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. When I talk about, where I should be, it is very essential that, we should be very clear about our why, our purpose. And I remember when I started my first job as a salesperson at the age of 17, because that was something due to my financial condition, it was very essential for me to support the family. But when I started my first job, at the age of 20, when I joined BST as a commercial trade apprentice, I never thought that, I will just really move on to such a long way. And the focus was very clear, you have to stand on your own. So the principle was very clear: earn while learn, learn while earn. When you face the challenges, especially financial challenges during your upcoming years, you learn a lot of values, and then you also become very determined, determined in terms of where your, the road ahead is, and then you start something on your own. And I joined, corporates. Of course, human resource management was my forte, and I worked for 15 years in, HR leadership role. At that point in time, I was very clear that, I'm not going to, get myself superannuated in the corporate. However, before I could complete my age of superannuation, I would like to go forward on my own. And that's how I started building the capability in terms of the requisite knowledge required, because the understanding was very clear that if at all I have to serve my clients as a coach, then at least I should be at least 5 years ahead of my client in terms of knowledge, in terms of understanding. And whatever the question that my client is going to ask me, I should not, try to search the answer on the Google, or, I'll get back to you, let me refer or something. I should be, ready to provide the answer, on the spot. And that's what the capability is all about when we talk about, building your career as a coach. And then around 6 years to go for the retirement, I left the job and, I started my, coaching for last almost 7 years. The point remains here that when you have decided to become a coach, the first and foremost requisite is that your coaching skill. The second requisite is a business skill. business management skill. And third is your, your familiarity with the technology and technical skills. And I would like to tell you, initial stage when you stand on your own, you always wonder, which way to be followed. And I was very clear that when we have a choices, whether you take a left route or right route. And when you look at left route, you'll find a lot of crowd is there. When you look at the right route, you find there is no one. And then you decide, okay, let me take the right route, because there are a lot of challenges are there, on the right route. But when you take up that right route, you face a lot of challenges, but you are so determined to overcome each and every challenge. And finally, you get a sense of satisfaction that I have chosen the right, route. That is the right one. Because the issue is not about running away from the competition, but the challenge is about how you can create your own, the standing in your life. And therefore, I strongly believe that when it comes to competition, that I don't believe in competing with others. I strongly believe that I have to compete with myself. Right. The best reason and the beauty of competing with self is when you decide to compete with yourself, you decide what is the benchmark you want, what is the performance bar you would like to achieve, and you are free to escalate your performance, bar, and then you decide where you want to go. But when you are deciding to compete with others, you are, limited by the, the benchmark set by the competitor. Correct. It could be quite lower than your potential, and that's the secret why I could achieve so many, successful, the ventures which was not being thought about by my other neighbors or competitors. So that's the beauty, and this is how the journey is all about. Focus on your domain knowledge, but at the same time, also look at what's happening around, and that's what precisely I did. Unlike other HR professionals, they are very clear about the HR domain, whatever subdomain as a part of HR. But what I got opportunity right from my early part of my employment, where I got into total quality management, business excellence model, quality excellence model, and that has really promoted and facilitated to go in for the other domains also. That's how I become Six Sigma champion and so on. Now that's the beauty. Whatever I learned other than HR, today it is helping me to support my clients to solve his challenges and problems.
That's all. Yeah, that is exactly going to take me to the next question. I think what you have kind of summarized is that how you actually move from being an employee to an entrepreneur or a coach, and working towards how you can build that authentic experiences so that you can reach out and help people. One thing that has always amazed me about you, Suresh, is that you are a guy who delivers. Okay, so if a client comes to you, or if any assignment you take up or any challenge you take up, there is no two ways about it. You have to come out as a winner out of it. So I think your thought process in trying to choose to be a coach, very clearly you have explained that, how you moved away from an employee model to an entrepreneur model, so to say, like, because you talk about the business skills also and entrepreneur as a coach. So my next question, Suresh, is after you thought what you want to do in terms of, offering a kind of a whole bouquet of services, and clearly that is the reason you picked the title business transformation. Who are the people you generally work with? I mean, are they individual entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, or small, medium entrepreneurs? What industry are you particularly focusing on?
If I look at the scope, to provide my coaching services, the scope is very huge. But ultimately, what my focus is that ultimately, who are those people who are badly in need of those kind of expertise services? Because when we talk about large corporates, they have their own strong resources. They have their internal teams to provide the support to the management. But when it comes to small and medium sector, what we call SME sector, those are the people which comprises of even startup executives, startup leaders, and the family business, okay, and the traditional family business and so on. Now these people, they are really struggling, not just because of the lack skill of managing business. They are expert in their own domain. However, when it comes to business management skill, when it comes to articulating business strategy, when it comes to working on the mindset, these are the areas, and of course, I mean, very important, how to manage people. These are the areas, where they have certain challenges, And I remember, sometime back I read the book Todd Henry. Uh, you know, uh, this book is so important. Die Empty. The title of the book was Die Empty. The author has sent clear message that the people, when they die, before they die, they don't share the knowledge
Correct.
or the wisdom, which is so valuable. But the fact is that whosoever who gets knowledge or the wisdom before our time comes, we should pass on to the others in the form of, because today is the era where knowledge is available freely on Google. However, the wisdom, Google cannot replace the wisdom of our individual people based on the experience that we have carried. So the best part is that whatever experience I had and whatever the learning that I had, I must share with my clients. I must share with those who are badly in need of, so their life will become beautiful. And that's the only focus area where I am focusing on the SME sector and individual, those who are struggling. But the micro niche, if you ask me, those who got stuck in their business, those who don't know how to do, what to do. I mean, they don't know exactly. So there, I can become very handy. And my forte is, I don't believe only in, passing on the coaching skill, but the fact is that handholding. I support my clients for the execution, because I have seen that only 1% community in the world, they are the experts in execution. They are the action taker. Whereas 99%, they try, they fumble. There are a lot of challenges like, the procrastination, comfort zone, and so on. And therefore, this is one area where I try to align business strategy on one hand and the law of attraction on other hand. My first book, of course, we'll talk in detail. My first book was the combination of business strategy and law of attraction. When both comes together, you can create a wonder. And I'm practicing the kind of wonders that I'm creating in my life, my own forte in my own business. This is the combination of business strategy and law of attraction, where your mindset becomes so powerful and you work like a warrior, you work like a winner, and then you grab, you achieve everything, whatever you have set for it.
I think the word warrior is very unique that you've used, because I know I've seen you in our mastermind community also, how you can drive, you can literally get work or outcomes and results from people if you are committed, and you can get the entire team committed the way you work. And I think, yeah, warrior is the right word. You're a disciplinarian and you are very, focused. How do you manage that, Suresh? I mean, given your age, given your experience and all that you've done, I think most human beings, the one thing that they lack most is consistency and discipline. How have you been able to achieve these qualities in you? Because I've experienced that about you, so what has been the secret, if I may ask?
Yeah. It's a unique style which I have developed based on my own experience over the years. And I'm so thankful to all my reporting managers, my bosses, especially those CEOs or a managing director or the chairman, where, I have invested almost 15 years, in a HR leadership role. And one thing which I have realized is that if you want to become successful in your life, wherever you are, wherever domain you have, you must have the 5 elements, as a part of your 100% adoption. The first and foremost is a hunger. You must have 100% hunger. The second is you must have 100% clarity. The third is you must have 100% focus. The fourth is you must have 100% action taking ability. And finally, you must have 100% discipline. When I put all those 5 success elements together, obviously the result comes. However, there are unique style which I have developed. As I said that, I strongly believe in self-talk. Self-talk in the sense, holding myself accountable. So when I've written my second book, I have come out with my trademark, formula, the phrase called business aura. For every business entrepreneur, for every coach or a trainer or the author or the keynote speaker, the aura is the secret to the success. What aura stands for? You take ownership 100% for your assignment, your task, your project. You held yourself 100% responsible, and finally you held yourself 100% accountable. So when we talk about accountability partner, frankly speaking, rather than asking somebody, can you please become my accountability partner, because then, I'm depending on him. Sometimes he may forget to inform me or remind me. So I said, let me myself become my accountability partner. And that's the best part happens, because you are ready to go to any extra mile when you become accountability partner. I remember I went to the bed at around say quarter to 12, for example. And then I realized over next 2 minutes, oh, this is something which I was supposed to complete, but I'm not complete. I wake up, immediately finish that and go to the bed, because the mantra is do it now. Often we always say, okay, let me do it tomorrow. Tomorrow never happens. Then we get into the other thing, got engrossed in some other assignment, and then one thing is missed. One miss is missed forever. And therefore, the first error on the part of any individual is pardonable. We can learn from that error. But when you repeat that error, it's not a mistake, it is your decision. And that's what I strongly believe, that better to hold yourself accountable and see to it that you keep on challenging yourself.
I think you have kind of said it in such simple words, but what I am gathering from what you've said is that it starts with me. If I expect other people to be accountable in my system, accountability starts with me. If I want others to take ownership, it has to be my own ownership first, and therefore it's my responsibility to hold back. And yeah, I think you've been very. We've seen the culture that you have come from. The organization culture of the rich experience that you've got, and I think that speaks volumes in the way you do your work and you conduct yourself in the mastermind. And I think that is really plausible. I'm seeing a logo on your background which says Boom Stride. So tell me a little bit about Boom Stride. What is Boom Stride?
Yeah. See, when we talk about the life of, because as you have already read out the mission that I'm on mega mission. So the last phase of is live life of abundance. How one can live the life of abundance? Only when the person overcome his own fear. And when you overcome your own fear, you always look forward for the win. And when you talk about the win, you talk about the prosperity. There's a boom. That's how when you grow like anything. Like few years back, when there was an athlete, pole vault jumper, say Sergey Bubka from Russia.
Yeah.
Probably it was USSR, okay, Russia. And then he was a world champion in pole vault. The day he announced, my next target is to cross 5 meter. That is my dream height. 5 meter. People started, saying, oh, I think this guy is mad, because this 5 meter was beyond imagination, unbelievable, impossible. But today, if you see, it's not only Sergey Bukta who cleared 5 meter, but now the subsequent athletes, pole vault, jumpers, they have crossed 5.10 and 5.15. The fact remains that whatever limit that you set in your mind, okay, then you make a regressive progress. So therefore, make your mind limitless. Sky's the limit. And that's how Boom Stride, our focus is very clear, that when we talk about achieving our goal and vision, we are not setting a limit. And that's the beauty. When we talk about dialogue with my clients, we are very clear. When it comes to our commitment, we say we believe in under promise and over performance. That's the best part, because your client gets surprised with your over performance. But if you follow the other way around, over promise, under performance, then that's the bad news for your business and for your client as well. And that's the beauty about Boom Stride, that you take a focus, ensure that you are going to make your client prosperous, and the value proposition. Gone were the days where we are talking about, unique selling proposition, USP. But now we have replaced that, and our concept is not USP, our concept is unique value proposition, UVP. And when we talk about value creation, it starts with me. And therefore, it's my responsibility that come what may, I must support my logo, I must support my vision, I must support my value system, and very clear that creating a unique satisfaction in the minds of the clients. So unique experience of customer delight. That is our forte.
Brilliant, brilliant. So amazing work that you're doing under Boom Stride, and many congratulations for this new venture and all the very best. I think as a part of Boom Stride, what I've also seen in the last I should say 6 to 8 months, is you're all over social media. You're doing podcasts, you're doing YouTube videos, not only in English, but also in Marathi. You're doing Facebook Lives. I think you recently completed a 30-day challenge of going live every day on Facebook. You're creating Instagram reels, you're doing posters, you're writing blogs, you're on LinkedIn, all social media. And I think anybody, all coaches and trainers know that that requires a lot of effort. It requires you to plan, to organize your content, and to deliver it. And odd hours, I've seen very late in the night also, sometimes you've gone live and you've stayed committed to the fact that you wanted to do a 30-day live. So how was that journey, and what is your advice to people who would like to reach that level of social media management that you're doing?
Yeah. So I would like to recall one, phrase. You are what you think. When I say you are what you think, same thing. Who am I? Who am I? I am so much that what I think. The fact is, the thought process, when I put into my mind, I look around, I say what I can do rather than how I can do. The focus is what I can do. The moment I ask myself this question, what I can do, I look at the scope. What is the scope for me? When I look at the scope, especially about social media, so a lot of, interpretations on the part of the other people. Oh, I mean, Instagram is meant for the youngsters. I mean, 20, 25 years old. And fact remains that today I'm, 61, running 60, I'll be completing 61. The fact is that one thought process would have come, oh, this is not my, the area or my region. Or the Facebook is meant for the 40 plus. Or the link is meant for the people who are quite intelligent and because they have to deal with thought leadership, writing, and so on. But the fact is, when I decide, let me challenge myself, what is possible? And when I look at the theory of possibility, I strongly believe that, there's nothing called age. Age is just number. And I remember it was my big graceful thank you to TLC, Teachers Are the Leaders community, because for last 2 years before joining TLC, I have invested a lot of, resources, financial resources in listening to the international best speakers, following their time, like Pacific time and so on. Sometime, 6 a.m. in the morning, 2:30 a.m. in the morning, early morning and so on. But the point was the, hand-holding that was missing. And this is how the TLC came very handy. And someone who is so much, aspired to deliver the best, but just for want of handholding, got stuck somewhere, then it becomes like a, blessings in disguise. So for me, thanks to TLC, thanks to its founder, Guru Murli, thanks to all VPs, and last but not least, thanks to this lady called Preeti Mazumdar, the one who somehow found, me in that ocean of LinkedIn, and then I got connected. So thank you very much. And this feeling will always remain my commitment towards TLC. But the fact is that when you have decided to create your presence, because when I remember when I started my coaching around 7 years back, frankly speaking, Suresh Shetye did not exist in the market. And the focus was, in terms of somebody will approach me, word of mouth and all. Because the reason being, and which is the common challenge with most of the coaches are facing, they are excellent in their domain, in their own skill and so on. But when it comes to selling, they always take, backstage in terms of, feeling shy or not having that aggression. And I was not the exception. But after I joined TLC, and of course, last 2 years, I'm on big mission, towards my mission, what I have set for. I have done a lot of, transformation within my personality, within my thought process, and how I should relate with my clients and so on. That has really helped me. But the fact is that, yes, as I said, the secret of those 5 elements of success, that I have eventually applied. And I said, when it comes to saying sorry, that is the last thing I would like to say for my failure in delivering what I have promised my client. Because when it comes to promising the client, I must ensure that whatever I promise, there is no scope for deviation even for 1%. not even 99%. 99.99% is unacceptable to us. And we said it is 100%, it has to be 100% delivered. The second secret about social, the success, social media success. The fact is that for others, it is impossible. It is, unbelievable. For me, that is the first point of contact I must harp on. And that really gives you a lot of push. It demands a lot of discipline. It demands a lot of sacrifices. And I strongly believe that people who are successful in this world, they have gone through the humiliation, they have gone through the insult, they have gone through, being let down, and all those. They have, of course, failures also. Even I'm also not an exception. I had my series of failures, but that gave me a lot of energy, because failure is the first success. And we strongly believe that success line is not straight. Success line is, going up and down, going reverse, right, left. Sometimes you find yourself get lost, but then you have to firm up, you have to stand on your own, and then you have to move towards your goal. The last point I would like to add here is, when I go to the bed, I ask myself, how was my day today? And what I was supposed to achieve, what I have achieved. And then I again get in the financial ratio. What was the success rate? Was it 100%? Was it 80%? If it is 80%, where I failed? And what was the root cause? Because, because of my TQM background, quality background, I get into the analysis mode. And that really helped me that what happened today should not repeat tomorrow. And that gives a sense of satisfaction. When I wake up in the morning, I offer my own prayers. I thank God for, waking me alive. And then I, touch the, goddess earth, because I'm touching my, my feet. So I tender apology. And very important that I said, the drive that makes me wake up in the bed is nothing but to see the smile on my client's face. With virtue of my value creation, by virtue of my value addition. And there is a reliance. Oh, here is a guy on whom I can rely upon. And that's really, keeps me going on. And same thing gets reflected when it comes to success on social media. But yes, it requires a lot of planning and it requires a lot of commitment.
Correct. I think what I hear from you, you have said, you've been very kind to say that, you got the hand from TLC hand holding. But what I have to tell you is that fortune favors the brave. You've been really brave. You've been really hardworking. And I think what I notice about you, Suresh, is that you are setting your expectations very high from your own self. And that helps you overachieve things and achieve your results. And it's amazing, to see you. And I think the way you define, my inspiration is the smile on my client's face. I think that defines the purpose of your life. And it's really beautiful that you're working on this mission and you're working on this, the focus is very clear that whatever I do day to day, day one, whatever I start today, I will complete it, finish it, not give an opportunity for somebody to raise a question or ask me. And the ease at which you do it, people may think it's pretty easy. Like you said, no, it's not. It is very difficult, but you do it and it's really appreciative. And I think you're doing a fantabulous job even on social media. Some of the podcasts are amazing. I think I've heard great reviews from the members who have been attending your podcast, and I've seen some of your Marathi language YouTube videos, and the kind of content that you create, Suresh, and the kind of engagement and the kind of value you want to share. The gift that you have, you want others to experience it and benefit from it. I think it's a humble cause also. And very, a lot of people do it for money, they do it for fame, they do it because they have to have a job. But what really something that, I feel very beautiful about the way you work is that you're humble about it. And the main area is to deliver the values and to deliver the results, which will help somebody else. I think that purpose that you have defined is really beautiful. Okay. So Suresh, once again, I want to congratulate you on all of that. And we've heard a lot of things about the serious Suresh, who's part of the corporate background, hardworking coach, wanting to give results, doing social media. Now I want to talk about the lighter side of Suresh. Okay. So I'm going to ask you a few questions, very rapid fire questions. Before I go there, I also want to tell the viewers that Suresh is launching an online course and his third book in our annual conference, which is going to happen in Pondicherry. His first two books are bestsellers. And maybe I'll need to do another coach talks just to discuss his books because there's so much that he has to share. So I'm going to save that for another date and I'm going to move to the rapid fires. So Suresh, who's the person that you would call if you had a crisis situation at 2 a.m. in the night?
My ex-boss, Mr. H.R. Kulkarni, the one who really taught me the lessons to become successful in the corporate. And I'm so glad, Preeti, I'll tell you, he was my boss, in one of the largest corporates between 1994 and 1998. And how many years? If I look at really almost 28 years, 26 years. And he had predicted about me that this guy is going to become, big name one day. And just about last week, he shared the message saying that, Suresh, I'm proud of you.
Wow.
Because the selfless mentoring, the selfless coaching, which I've learned from him. I'm so, because in my first book, I have mentioned about him that people whom I'm thankful to and grateful to. So there are few people I have mentioned his name. And very selfless person, I've learned a lot basic thing. And, he's the one which I really looked at.
So I think once we finish this coach talk, you should ask him to see this video. So we are very thankful for you for all that you have done for Suresh. And we are very happy to have him in our community. And thank you for all the mentoring. I think it's paying it forward the way things are. Suresh, my next question is, if there was one mistake you've made in your life, which you could erase, what would that be?
Yes, I should say that when I decided to make a transition from the corporate to, the coaching field, initially as a consultant, then coaching field. Although it was a part of my long-term plan, but mistake what I have did was before venturing into the, self-propose, the business venture, like a proprietary kind of thing, I should have done little research work. The reason being why I did not done the research work is not for any other reason, but I kept myself so much engrossed and busy around 5 years before I left in terms of pursuing higher studies, and the various international courses, certification, because I wanted to make sure that when I step out and I face my client, and when a client asks me any question, I should not bog down saying that, that confidence I wanted to show. And in the process, the priority of doing certain research and, what needs to be done, and that was, taken the backseat. So that was one mistake I have made.
I think, yeah, this is a common mistake that most new coaches and trainers do. They feel that having abundant knowledge and having a lot of content is actually the sign of a good coach. Of course, it is a sign of good coach. And I think what I have seen in the way you deliver, I mean, some of your clients, I have interacted with them. They're part of our community as well. And I've seen how they speak about you and the testimonials they've shared is that it's not just the amount of information or knowledge that you actually pass on, because that is something that is abundant available even on internet, but getting results and helping people to implement. So I agree with you. I think that is something as a message that should go out to all the coaches and trainers who are watching this talk show. If you want to become a coach or a trainer, it's not just important to have content knowledge, but also know the finer skills on how you can get your client to implement and get results just like Suresh does. Okay, Suresh, some very quick questions. Between tea and coffee, what would you choose for?
I'm really sorry to say that I have given up tea coffee around 17 years back.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I did my art of living in 2005 when I was head HR with one of the largest organization, and I totally changed my lifestyle. And it came as a blessing in disguise because I used to have almost 8 to 9 coffee a day, being an HR professional, meeting, interviews, and so on. So for last 17 years, I have totally given up tea and coffee.
Awesome. I think, one of the things about you again is...
I'm sorry, and I also practiced Sudarshan Kriya for last 17 years. And that has really helped me.
Amazing. I think it's about developing the right habits and getting over some of the, addiction, so to say. Tea, coffee can be very addictive. So I agree with you. So your favorite color, Suresh?
I'm quite fascinated with blue color.
Blue. Yeah, that's mine too. I also like blue. I think for coaches, blue is always very special. So I relate to that. Now, people who don't know Suresh on a personal note, he's an amazing singer. And he and me both went to the same college, but yeah, a few years apart. And we have a few things which are really close to our heart. So I'm going to ask Suresh to sing a few lines from his favorite song. Suresh, if you can please share for our audience, because you have an amazing voice and you sing it with so much of heart and soul. It's really brilliant. Please.
Well, this is a song which I remember when I got married. Before I got married, when I met my wife, and this was a song which I, sung at that point in time. So a few lines I'll just sing because that, that reminds a cherished memory. Okay. फूलों की रंग से दिल की कलम से तुझ पे लिखी रोज पाती कैसे बताऊं किस किस तरह से पल पल मुझे तू सताती तेरे ही सपने लेकर के सोया तेरी यादों में जागा तेरे ख्यालों में उलझा रहा हूँ जैसे कि माला में धागा हाँ बादल बिजली चंदन पानी जैसा अपना प्यार लेना होगा जन्म हमें कहीं कहीं बार हाँ इतना मधुर तेरा मेरा प्यार थैंक यू
Awesome, awesome, Suresh. Now I can understand how. So this video again, you'll have to show it to your wife also. I think she's going to be with this surprise that she's seen. The reason I asked you to sing the song is that a lot of people know the serious Suresh. This is the casual Suresh, a Suresh who can have a heart-to-heart conversation and laugh and joke about you. There's very few who see this side of Suresh. Suresh, if you were to be reborn, whom would you choose to be reborn as?
Uh, well, I would like to, reborn as someone who is willing to help everyone in the world. And that's the beauty because the secret of success, secret of life is very clear that whatever thought process that I have, like for example, for last more than 3.5 years, which is probably very unknown things to others. Every day I write one inspiration in the morning. First, I set the target of 1,000. I've completed in 2018, 2020, beg your pardon. And I set next target of 1,000. And that's how the thought process, what I see myself, what I'm supposed to help others, what I'm supposed to contribute to others. And that's how the whole scenario is that in my next birth, I would like to, in the same role where I'm helping others and seeing those smile on these, beautiful faces. Because I strongly believe that each and every person, one who comes on this earth is loaded with a lot of talent, a lot of potentials. But unfortunately, most of the people, they are unable to tap their potentials. And I'm thankful to the God that He has helped me to tap this so much unknown potentials, talent within me. And that's what it is being, visualized and becomes visible to everyone.
Awesome, awesome. I think, yeah, if you are to be reborn, please be reborn as Suresh and do meet us again in our next live stream. It will be interesting. So, while we close today, one message that you would like to share with coaches and trainers, aspiring coaches and trainers, existing coaches and trainers, how can they become more successful? If you can please share one nugget for all of them.
One, be yourself. The first fundamental rule. Secondly, never compromise on your integrity, value, and honesty, because that is one message you're giving to your clients, and client probably may not be interested about other aspects, but the day he find that you have broken that that trust, then then there's a challenge. And third, keep on learning, because we have such a short life, but we have to pass on such a wide knowledge to the our clients. The focus is keep yourself upgrading. Today also, I'm a lifelong learner. I keep myself investing even today also, and that really helps me, because once I'm capable, once I'm become competent, that capability, that competency I can pass on to my client. And never ever, lose your patience. Whenever you have certain failures, learn from that failure and see that what is lacking in me, because the acceptance is the beauty. That's the secret. Most of the people, they are unable to move forward because they are unable to accept the truth, that reality. The fact is, we have to accept. Moment you accept, then you keep on moving. And last but not least, never ever expect from others. When more you expect from others, more frustration you have, because you don't have control over others. You have control on your own. So what is within your control, focus on that, keep on moving, and see that you bring the balance with your work and life, and see that people whom you are committed, go on. And as I follow, under promise or performance, that creates the beauty, that really creates a good impression, and everybody is happy with that.
Brilliant, brilliant. I think those pearls of wisdom might be really, really like the signpost for all aspiring coaches and trainers. I feel very fortunate that I got a chance to speak to Suresh Shetye, who's a platinum member in TLC, one of the most successful coaches and trainers of our community, who has been a great action taker. He has surpassed many milestones that we are asking our members to fulfill to become successful. He has been a great influencer in the community and has achieved a lot of success. We wish you more and more success, Suresh. We are very lucky to have you as part of our community, and we wish you the very best for all your future endeavors.
Thank you, Preeti, for this opportunity. And I'm really thankful, grateful to TLC for supporting me, to lifting my performance bar, to lifting me from where I was. And that sense of, the memory, that sense of the indebtedness will always remain. And I'm looking forward as to how I can create more value in TLC, how I can support my other fellow coaches to also enhance their bar with best of my experience, with best of my success story. And this journey will have to keep on as an ongoing process. So this is my commitment. Thank you very much. And thanks to all the viewers for listening to me patiently. And this is what a sense of satisfaction at the end of the day, when I could create the feeling of joy, the feeling of happiness, it also pass on to the others. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Suresh, for joining us. And once again, we wish you all the very best. Viewers, members of the TLC community, and the followers of our page, we will be having a few more TLC coach talks in the next couple of weeks. But after that, we have our annual conference happening at Pondicherry, which is called as the Tilt. We have a lot of members. So stay tuned to our page for some exciting news, updates, book launches, keynote speeches, and amazing firework, energy superseding, exciting annual conference. Thank you and good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.